We're going to do a video on how to make some beeswax wraps. Beeswax wraps, if you don't know, are wraps made out of cotton fabric and you melt some beeswax onto them.
Why do you call them wraps?
Because you wrap things in them, Dad. Okay, so for example, you can put it on a glass of a smoothie. And basically you just like pat it down with your hands, and the warmth of your hands will make it stick to the jar. So it's actually better than Glad wrap, because Glad wrap comes off all the time. So another example is on a bowl. Or you can wrap a pineapple with it. Or a sandwich, or a piece of cake, or crepes. Okay, so things that you will need for this are cotton fabric. So we get ours from the op shop. It has to be 100% cotton. To cut them, you need some pinking shears. That's so that you stop the edges of the fabric from fraying. You need a couple of trays. This is if you're doing it in the oven, which is the faster and better way. So we use a rectangular tray, and we also have a circular tray for our bowl wraps. And then you just line that with some foil. We have an old paintbrush to spread the beeswax across the sheets, an oven, and some beeswax from the Honey Man. Yeah. Step number 1 is grating the beeswax so that it looks like cheese. If you don't have one of these fancy machines, like most people, you can grate it by hand. It's just a bit slow and it takes a bit of time to clean it afterwards. Second step is to heat your oven to about 120 degrees. And then we put our fabric on the tray, like so. And you sprinkle the beeswax on it. Another handy tip I find is putting the beeswax in the fridge, because when you live in the tropics it tends to stick together and it melts in patches. If you put it in the fridge it can harden up and it's a bit easier to break and spread evenly. You don't want too much beeswax because then it forms ridges along the bottom of the wraps. Okay, then you put it into the oven. After about 5 minutes, or until the beeswax has melted, you can just pull it out. Here's one we prepared earlier. At this point it would be intelligent to wear oven gloves or something, because you're going to pick it up and it always burns your fingers. Before you do that, you can spread the beeswax a bit more with the brush. Make sure that there's no dry bits. Watch Mum burn her hands. Okay, hold it over the tray to make sure that any excess beeswax drips off. And then you hang it up to dry. It only takes about 10 seconds. And here's one that we put up before. And then you have your beeswax wrap. So once your wrap is done, there shouldn't be any excess beeswax on the sides. It should be evenly spread. You can scrunch it up a little bit to make it a bit more pliable. Mum, can you open that, please? Okay. And then once you've played with it a little bit, it'll be a lot easier to put it over bowls and things like that. To wash the wraps, you just wash it with lukewarm or cold soapy water, because obviously if you wash it in hot water, then it will melt the beeswax all over again. They don't last forever, so they eventually start getting a little bit dirty after a couple of months. Depends how well you look after them. But that's not a problem, because you can just make more, and it's very cheap to do, and that way you're not using single-use plastic that never breaks down in the environment. Hey Mum, how do you clean everything to get rid of the wax?
Just hot water. Just put everything in hot water. No dishwashing liquid or anything. Just warm water, hot water.
And it's better if you make lots of the wax wraps in one go. That way you don't end up with a mess every single time you do it. Okay, bye! Bye, Mom. Bye. Mom, say bye.
Bye!